what we have here are parts of a PS4 controller that has been sitting on my to repair pile for a lot of years, even developed some weeds on it. So I think it's time to try to fix this controller. The main issue with it is this chip here that I think is responsible for the control of the battery charging. It's getting red hot, and now the parts price has come down a little, and I'm going to try to repair this for my friend. I bought the charging chip from AliExpress. It came very well packed, and here we have it. Let's go under the microscope. I'll show you the chip getting very warm, and we will try to replace it. So let's do it. Here I have my charging port. I will connect this ribbon cable that is in good shape. Controller board. As you can see, the charging port doesn't look too bad. Looks fine actually. Let's see the pins on the back. The pins on the back look good and solid. So with a connector everything is okay. Now let's focus on this chip. It's the one that is getting very hot. There is a component that doesn't look quite good, but it looks rough, and it says it's 2.2 ohms. Of course the multimeter will beep, but it might be a simple 2 ohm resistor or something. Usually resistors don't short, so I don't know if it's something like that. This component here, I think it is a coil or something, and it gives continuity, so it might as well be a coil. Yeah, it looks to be a coil. So we will put some IPA on top of this chip and see it getting hot, as I was telling you that it was happening. So here you have my power bank, and I will connect the board. We will see the power consumption of it. So here we have 5.1 volts, 0.3 amps. This power consumption is making the chip quite hot, quite fast. I can feel it with my finger already. This is the power consumption that it has without the battery connected and just with the power bank. I'll show it under the microscope. So the power bank is connected again, and I will put some IPA over the chip, and as you can see, the IPA starts evaporating right away. We put a strong drop of it, and it evaporates right away. So I think this chip is bad. Well, something we should check for usually around these chips is for shorted capacitors, and I've checked all of these and they are not shorting. As you can see, the only thing that shorts is this inductor, because an inductor is just a coil and it should short. This one doesn't. Nothing here except for this resistor. It probably is a 2 ohm resistor or 3 ohm resistor. The value changes a bit. Probably that's the only thing that would be slightly suspect. So now we have these capacitors here, and we need to check if some of them... Okay, so we have a shorted capacitor here. This one's not. This one's not. this one, yep, this one is a shorted cap, and it's right under the chip that is giving us the heating. So we'll go for parts. First we will take off the other cap, the other capacitor, and see if it's the capacitor that is the problem, because it's a simple part. But if the short still remains, we will remove the chip and replace it. So let's do it. New soldering iron tip, very fine and pointy to make these small works. So let's test it and see if it works good. First, I think this was the bad capacitor, but I need to retest it because I have memory of a fish and I don't know where was the cap that was shorting, so I need to check it again. Let's see. Yep, it's this one. It's better to mark it with a pen for me not to forget where is the place of it. So I will make a small dot next to it, so I will remember what cap was, where it was. Let's put some fresh solder. And see if we can remove the capacitor without making too much hassle. It looks like it's very cold because I'm shaking all around. So the marking I did is starting to go away. It's always nice. And let's try to grab it with the tweezers and take it out this way. Whoops. Let's center it a bit again. Adjust the lighting. Try to grab the capacitor again. Doesn't want to come out, but it will have. It will need to come out somewhere. Ah. Didn't want to do it this way, but yeah. There you go. Now it's on the tip of the soldering iron, but I grabbed it. So it's here, and we will check if there's still a short on those pads. So let's see. Yep, there is a short, so probably the chip is faulty. So I'll clean the board on this side and go to the other side to keep doing it. This flux sometimes gets really jelly, so sometimes it's hard to remove. This flux is awesome, but it's weird at the same time and has a weird fishy smell. Yep, clean it is. Let's grab the hot air station and remove this damn chip. So as always with a flux is important. Our ship is fluxed. I need to recheck the orientation because I don't remember what was the orientation of the chip, and I need to clean the top of it because I do everything in the wrong order. So we need to clean the flux, or I can just rewatch the footage, but yeah. Let's clean everything again and see if we can have the chip show us the orientation of the chip. Take a picture with a microscope. So like this. Another pic. So okay, letters turned to me when the flat cable connector is turned to me also. Flux it again and get the hot air station to replace this chip. So hot air station turned to whatever temperature and whatever airspeed, because we have options to regulate it, but they were expensive, so I bought the cheapest one, where you can't see exactly at what temperature or what speed you are replacing stuff. So let's hit the ship and hope it comes off nicely and clean.
One eternity later.
Whoa, it took a lot of heat and it didn't come out. I'm starting to get afraid of burning anything else on the board. Yeah, I've even reflowed the resistor there. That was looking bad. So we might have to attack it with a little bit more heat, and I'll try to add some fresh leaded solder to the pins around it. So let's see if this helps. We'll probably have to attack it with a lot more heat than I was doing at the beginning. Yeah, so if the controller doesn't work, who cares? It was a parts controller. So let's attack it with brute force. Yeah, brute force should work with it. Oh, that took a crazy amount of heat to come off the board. Hopefully we didn't knock anything over. Yeah, here is the bad chip. So let's clean this mess and see if we still have the short. All the pins are clean. We can check now for the short. So no more short. Okay, so probably the chip was shorted, and we can put our capacitor back in. So let's put our capacitor in place. Say I'm sorry to bother you, and then put our new chip. And let's see if now I can make it go to the right place. So let me check. this side with new solder. This is of course too much. And on this side, let me focus. Okay, so finally we have our cap in place. Still not looking good, but it's better than what it was. So I think I will put some flux in it and hit it with the air gun. I think it will look nice. Melting. Yep, it's fallen into position. Look how beauty that is. How pretty it is when the stuff just aligns into place. Wow. So let's skip the job and now clean the pads of this chip. These are the analogs and that is the chip we are replacing. Yeah, the capacitor was here somewhere in the middle of this city. So, small parts, very small parts. Let's go. This is a strong pad that takes a lot of heat from the iron. Yeah, we'll need to clean all that. So try not to rip any pads. I'll change the tip of my iron to something a little bit beefier. This wick is gigantic, but let's see if we can get enough heat not to destroy any pads. Well, slowly let it heat quite well before you move it, otherwise you can rip pads off. So we'll do it one more time on this side. You need to see it melting quite well, and as you can see, this pad in the middle, it absorbs a lot of heat. So as I'm putting the iron through it, it tries to cool the iron down, and it's not easy. It's very easy to do shit. So now I will put a bit of fresh flux and new solder, new leaded solder, the one that's easier to melt all over these pins and all over these pins. I want them to make a nice pad of solder on the pins in order for the new chip to get on top of them, accommodate on the fresh solder. So we need to get this right in order to get good results. Oops, I don't want too much to stay on this middle section, just a little. Okay, let's clean this. Now that we have fresh solder everywhere, okay, let's heat this up and try to fit our new chip into position. It will not be easy. Applying some flux. Here is our new chip. First, we should do one thing, is to prepare our chip to go there. So we should put some fresh solder on this chip first. Here we go. Solder. Solder on all the pins, but we will know it. Okay, so chip is prepared. Let's put it on the board. Chip is not in correct position. No, it wasn't. So the cut corner is like this. Yeah, there you go. The spot on the chip turned down and left. So let's put it aside. Warm the board first, and then we will try to drop it in place. Here it goes. No, we can't do it from this position. Maybe I will burn the analog sticks. So I need to do it with the board upside down and rely on the microscope. Okay, so this is not easy. Not easy at all. I hope the ship doesn't go flying through the roof. Okay, board is melting and chip. realign. Okay. Well, that didn't look too bad. Let's see if there's no big gaps on the pins all around. Uh-oh. This doesn't look very well soldered. I didn't want it to squeeze the chip against the board because of the excess solder in the middle. I will try to make the soldering iron with a small tip all around to see if the points get well soldered. Well, let's clean everything. Give it a good clean with IPA and see if we need to do something else. I don't know. I don't know if this is okay or not. I don't really know. Well, I apologize for the background noise, but I was testing the controller and yeah, using a good quality USB cable makes the light on the controller turn on. So I think that we might have done something good to the controller. So now I plug it in and we see a yellow light flashing slowly, and we are drawing 0.03 amps, 0.4 amps. So I don't know if this is good or not. I've read in some websites that the yellow light while blinking is charging, so I don't know if we need to do anything else to this controller. I've plugged in the battery and it doesn't charge. It doesn't make any difference to have the battery plugged in. So I am at a point that I don't know exactly what to do. One thing I tried is to connect this to the computer and it detects the controller. So the controller is being correctly detected and it's showing as a USB device, and I can see all the inputs on the analog joysticks. This one is a bit rough, it's failing a bit, but yeah, it is detected as a controller. The computer sees it well, but there is no charge on the battery. When I plug in the battery fails. So there must be something that is not okay yet with the battery circuit, and we must investigate. So, as I was trying to show you, but the camera ran out of battery, I was reassembling the controller in case something is missing, and thus it was showing the yellow light. And I've soldered the motors, and as I was fitting the battery in, I pressed the PlayStation button and voila, we have a flashing LED. And so I think it means our controller is fixed. I will try to see if it charges the battery, and let's see what it does. I'll try to plug it in. It's not even with a touchpad connected, so I don't know if it will give me any kind of error or something, but I'm excited to try it. Well, Let's turn this on. It's already a victory because it's working. So let's see what it does when I try to charge it. Yellow light again. I press in, it starts to flash in white. 0.46. I don't know if it needs to complete any kind of cycle to charge the battery. I'll try to reset it. Resetting and letting it come on again. Nah. I think the charging circuit it's still not working, but if we press the PlayStation button, but I think the charging circuit it's not activating. Yeah, it goes back to what it was before. No, 2.7 volts. So the battery is giving some signs of life, but the controller is not charging.
Many unbearable hours later.
Well, let's see if it improved something. And again, yellow light. Whoop! Power consumption is rising. Uh-oh, I think we are charging the battery. Oh, is it? Is it? Is it? Let's measure the. Let's put the multimeter here. I'm trying to contain my enthusiasm. 208, 209, 2010, 2011, 2811, 2813. I think we are charging. Ho ho! It was the ship badly soldered. Well, let's see if it evolves positively. So I'll let it charging for a bit. I'll let it on camera. I don't know if this will shut down eventually, but I'm quite excited because it's charging now. It's consuming a lot more power. Yeah, and it probably was the smallest misplacement of the chip. Some of the pins not doing a good contact. Oh, I'm very excited to have found this because I thought I was thinking about buying another chip, thinking that the one I bought was fried because of all the time I was doing the soldering without a very controlled temperature with this terrible hot air soldering iron. Yeah, but I think we have something. 0.110. Okay, the tension on the battery is slowly rising. I don't know if this is the correct charging rate. I think it's quite low, but it's charging something. So let's see if we have any evolution. I'll just remove the battery to check. Okay, without the battery, the power draw is lower, and we have 4.2 volts on the battery terminals. I think that's the normal value to have when the battery is disconnected. So battery plugged in again. Let's see. Okay. Now we have good values. Okay, 0.4 amps charging the battery. This is a more reasonable value for charging. That was because the battery was very low, and it was this is a lithium battery, lithium ion, and it was slowly bringing the battery back to life. Now that the battery has a safe level to charge, it pumps a lot more power in, and we are charging at 0.4 amps. This is a lot more normal, so I hope you can see this. I think we have a fixed controller. I'm trying to contain myself. I'll let it charge for a bit, see how the blinking light goes, if it changes color or not, and I'll see if the controller gets on by itself. So let's wait, let's move forward and see if we have a fixed controller finally. Well, the power consumption got back to the original 0.04 when it was not charging. The light stopped, so the charging circuit is working fine, and the battery tension is 4.155 volts. So everything is okay with the charging circuit. Let's reassemble the controller. It's blinking. Yes, it's blinking. So we have a blinking controller. I'll assemble the screws and we're going to test it on the computer. Yeah, controller charged and working. At least it's powering. So let's go to the computer and test if everything is working and if we don't have any more joystick drift also. Well, here it is, our controller. I've tested it before on this computer, so I know that this is his properties window, and I'll turn it on and see if it connects. Whoops, it's connected. Light, steady light, and we have a joystick with no drift and a second joystick with no drift. Trigger buttons work, directional buttons working well, all the buttons are working fine, the buttons from the analog triggers and the button from the pad. Only this button that says under the weeds share. I just need to check that, but everything is working. We have no joystick drift, and I found this website where we can test vibration. Yeah, and it's vibrating. So all the buttons work except for that weird share button. Okay, share button not showing any sign. So I'm pretty sure that the share button is working, because as I'm reading on the internet right now, and I did it before, to connect this controller to the computer you need to press the share and the PlayStation button at the same time, and the controller will go into pairing mode. And that's how I connected the controller to the computer. It should be working. Well, I can't reset the controller. There's something wrong in here. Okay. I have to take it apart again. Nice. Yeah, after some fighting, I solved the mystery of the share button. I just need to press it quite hard with extreme strength. So I'll take it apart again and try to see if I can fix something with this share button. Maybe it took a lot of heat and it's not enjoying it. So I'll try to solve this problem. And so, after reassemble and going back and forth, I managed to get the share button working properly. So all the heat and all the flux of the solder was going under the button, and I opened it up, I cleaned it up, I put new Captain tape on it, and it's now working. So controller fully working, and I can say now the controller is fixed. And so, to wrap things up, this very weedy PS4 controller is fixed. That was a very satisfying fix, but it gave me a lot of headaches. But now, good gaming everyone, have fun. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, bye bye.